So welcome everybody.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us for another Moving to Mexico Monday. And we're not at our office today, we're at a friend's house, an undisclosed location. But so we wanted to like squeeze together into our same screen. We'll see how that works.
Yeah.
So if this is your first, I think I know everybody here, but for those of you who may be watching this recording later, we're Kim and Gabrielle, Kim Temple and Gabrielle Ortega with Runaway Realty in Puerto Morelos, which is just south of Cancun. And we have been running Moving to Mexico Monday for like 3 or 4 years, and usually do it in person, but this year with COVID, we went to the Zoom format and we are loving it because we get to dig a little deeper into some of the topics that are really of interest to Americans and Canadians thinking of relocating here. So thank you so much for joining us.
Absolutely.
We hope you get some value out of it. And we'll just, so you know, those people who are here live, we are recording the meeting. And so if you don't want to be on the recording that we're gonna post on our YouTube later, just, you can turn off your camera and just join us on audio. But if you're fine leaving your camera on, that's more fun. I like to, it's more interactive, I think.
Yes.
So when we get going, we'll probably have you mute your microphones, but if you have a question or something and want to stop the discussion, just drop it in the chat box, which is here. Let me post something. There you go. And we can stop and chat about whatever your question is. We are having tequila drinks, by the way. Cheers.
Cheers.
Thanks
Cheers,
for joining
everyone.
us. Yeah. So I'm excited about this topic that we're talking about tonight because, we're talking about basically you're not in Kansas anymore when you're moving to Mexico. And it came up because there are so many people making the move to Mexico now, really like, it's kind of insane how busy our high season has been in the whole Riviera Maya and other parts of Mexico. So I think the COVID situation kind of forced people to reevaluate their lives. And I think some people are taking an earlier retirement than they originally planned, or have just decided they can work anywhere. And so they're making the move kind of full-time to Mexico. And with that comes, you know, kind of a bit of culture shock because you are moving to a different culture. And too many Americans and Canadians show up and think that they aren't moving to a different culture and that the culture should reconform to their expectations, which, as you can imagine, causes for a lot of grief on both sides of, you know, on the person who's just moved here and on the Mexican people who live here. So we thought we would kind of talk about this in a playful way because it, you know, it's okay, cultures are different, and that's the beauty of it. If it was all the same, there wouldn't be that much fun. So yes. We thought it would be have a little bit of fun with this. People are different.
People's different, even in the same culture. So
totally. Yeah. So we just wanted to go over some of the biggest, I guess, things that people struggle with when they move to another country. To Mexico specifically. And we laugh because we were like, maybe we should do another Zoom about being like, I'm married to a gringa, now what, or what, like whatever, because even we met and fell in love as old, you know, we've been married for 3 years, dating for 5. No, that's not right.
4 and 5.
Anyway, 2016.
Yeah.
It's almost 5, yeah. Oh, so we've been married almost 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so, you know, we met and fell madly in love and really downplayed the fact that there are cultural differences. We kind of were like, la, 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 everything's magic.
Yeah.
And we can never have a problem like that.
And then the honeymoon is over.
And then the honeymoon is over, yeah. And you learn pretty quickly that there are some pretty major differences in expectations and the way relationships are handled, and families, you know, navigating family relationships also. So that's maybe a more specialized conversation because y'all are probably not doing that. I see a lot of couples here already. So, but anyway, we wanted to kind of talk about what things that you should know when you arrive here to kind of manage your expectations.
General No?
in general.
Yeah.
And I do think that I wanted to ask you, Gabrielle, because I don't want to put you on the spot.
No, go ahead.
A lot of people who are Americans and Canadians who are thinking of moving specifically to Puerto Morelos ask us at Moving to Mexico Monday, like, how do the Mexicans feel about Americans and Canadians moving in? And I don't know if you want to speak to that. I know you can't speak for everybody, but like in general, is it a negative? Like, is it a problem? Or because I feel like I've always been very welcomed by this community and everywhere we go in Mexico.
I think that fortunately we have this kind of hospitality natural sense where even between Mexicans, we're like just very open to share whatever we have, even if it's just like a one tortilla, whatever. We are really, really open to share and teach whatever you know and empathize super easily with people. So I don't think that we or I don't believe that we have any kind of issue at any level. Mm-hmm. We are people that just accept people as they are more nowadays. Maybe back in time, like 70s, we are like flowing with every single trendy kind of thing or moment, no? Mm-hmm. Around the world. Like, I don't know, whatever you want to do that in that fashion, like being a hippie or whatever. Well, we want to be happy hippies, no? But now we're super open, and I believe more than maybe in the last 10 years, we're super open to receive, talk, share. We hardly judge anything, anything like we can see people walking, and it's super easy. Do not make any kind of comment, any kind of.
So you don't think there's like this big negative
absolutely
feeling
not,
about well, Americans specifically because of our.
No, not at all.
Yeah. Okay.
No, not anywhere. I mean, obviously in a huge super city, everybody has its own point of view, but I believe that in the majority, and I'm talking about maybe 90% of the people, it's just like it is what it is. Be welcome.
Well, and if you're not an asshole, you're much better
absolutely
off. Like
yes.
You arrive and are an asshole.
But that's my point. Like in any culture, mm-hmm. you can be an asshole anywhere, and everybody's going to consider you as an asshole. Mm-hmm. Here, this is not in that covering that part is not an exception. We're not accept people just because they want to be mean, and everybody's going to be say like I'm happy, don't worry, no. But in an average, like people with common sense, is like super accepted easily. You can talk everywhere with anyone. And the funny is one of the things that happen, we honestly want to help you to figure out, even when we don't know.
Yes.
Or even when we don't have any idea about how we're going to help this guy, I want to try to help you. So that's one of the things that to me, it's like super, super. I believe that I cannot born in the best. I believe that I born in the best country ever.
Yeah.
That's
well, that is one. I do think that's a good point because that is the one thing that I learned because I didn't grow up. I mean, I'm American, but I didn't grow up in any like strong German community or Irish community, which is my heritage. So I didn't have those kind of roots. I'm just an American from Colorado and la la la. I have my family that I'm close to, but here, like being Mexican and like you have a really strong sense of your history and your roots and your family is all important. And I think it's really incredible. I wish that I had grown up in a system like that. But I do think that that's where Americans and Canadians run into trouble if you offend that sense of pride in the country by saying things, for example, like, well, at home we do it like this and it's better. So I do see that can really offend people when you just come in and say, well, why don't you do it the way we do it? Because our way is better.
Yes. Yeah, I think that when we as Mexicans feel that we are like offended in a kind of way, we can react like everyone else, basically. But talking about culture, it's like it's very difficult because in the very beginning, or when we are like just before the conquer, the conquest was like the Spanish country. We have like our own etnias, and we respect. So we honestly brought that thing to this time still.
Right.
We still loving our own. I mean, try to ask like a Mexican, which was the beginning of, and I can bet, of our civilization. And I can tell you that everybody's going to tell you at least few things, maybe, but everybody knows.
Everyone knows.
Our own, yeah, yes.
Yeah. Okay. So any questions so far before we even get to topic number 1? No?
Okay.
You guys are quiet. Oh, I guess because the microphones are off. So the one thing that is important to know when you arrive in Mexico is there's a very strong sense of formality when you meet people, and like expected rules of conduct when you arrive at a party or at a gathering or even a business meeting. And that really took me by surprise, because Americans and I think Canadians kind of when you meet someone, you shake their hand or you nod to them, and you don't even necessarily shake their hand. Mm-hmm. But here it's like way more important that you at least shake hands.
Yes.
And if you're meeting someone who's a friend or a family of someone close to you, you are expected to hug and kiss, basically. Yes. Yes. But is it a fake kiss? Because I always kind of do like a little fake, like a cheek touch and an air kiss.
No, it's like an effective kiss. It's like really like, hey, how you doing? Like,
oh, it's real? Yeah, it's supposed to be real? Oh, I've been doing it wrong.
But it depends on formality. I mean, formality never affects to anyone.
What?
The formality never affects. Like if you're like kind and polite, always is welcome.
Okay. All right.
But when you are like belong to a family, that changes everything. Or you belong to some kind of really
a close group.
Close group, yeah. Everybody's like, even though you can arrive, and I can say like, oh, go ahead and say hi to everyone. I'm gonna spend like a couple minutes with my friends that are here right now. And usually you have to go like person to person, saying, hi, how you doing? And give the kiss. And
yeah. So that was hard for me, you guys, because you do it. Here's the thing. Even if you're only staying like 10 minutes, you got to say hello and greet every single person.
Yes.
And then on your way out, you got to do it again.
Yeah.
On the way out. So you got to plan your timing.
Yes.
Like if you're going to leave a party, plan about half an hour before to start saying your goodbyes. Because it's considered really rude.
Yeah, without saying like, no, people is going to ask you, where's Kim? And someone's can tell like, or say like, oh, she just left like 20 minutes ago. And that person say, what happened? Why she didn't tell that? And someone could tell like, no, she was here next to you. And I didn't say, why she didn't stop to say she's mad at me or something like that? Yeah, it's very important.
Yeah. So that was a new one for me. That was really shocking and also uncomfortable because we like a little more personal space. And so it's to go in with someone you really don't know and lean into them and do the kiss thing can be a little bit weird. I don't know if you guys, I don't know, I'd love to chat about this. If anyone has a comment, like I find it a little bit hard, especially if it's summer and people are all sweaty. Mm-hmm. I really don't want to do that. I don't want to lean in.
And now ever. No,
and now I don't know with COVID, we're not doing it at all. So I don't know what's going to happen.
No, definitely that can change. But the thing is like, it's something, and I know we're wrong, but I believe that eventually we're going to start doing it again because it's something like very like
I don't think
natural.
We're going to stop doing it. Yeah.
Supernatural. It's like in our Mexican chip, like, oh, here's information. Yeah. 010101.
So keep that in mind.
Say one to everyone. Say hi to everyone. Yeah.
And so basically you say like, mucho gusto.
Yeah.
Do you always say that?
Yes.
Mucho gusto is always the right thing to say when you meet somebody. Okay. And then we wanted to talk about, I think the next topic is the restaurant behavior. Yeah. Because I think a lot of expats run into this when they move and they get so frustrated that things at restaurants work a little bit differently.
Yeah.
And one thing is that when you walk into a restaurant or a place where other people are eating, it's very polite and expected that you say provecho
you have to
as you walk past their table. Yeah. Because it means have a nice meal.
Yes.
And it's very polite, and they're expected to say something back to you.
Yeah.
Which is.
Are they going to respond?
Yeah.
Sometimes even if they have food in their mouth, they go to
yeah.
Yes.
And so you may have noticed that I was really puzzled when I first moved here, like, why is everyone talking to me when they walk past my table? But it's polite and it's Very common.
Yeah, super common. Yeah. Basically, when you have like you are in your table and you are like, I don't know how to say this, but you have someone in front of you that is like, you have this kind of coincidence about crossing your eyes once in a while. So when you left the table, that person is going to expect in their mind that you're going to say provecho.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or sorry, or when you are with friends and you have to leave the table. So you have to say provecho, everyone. Like, when it's like a family, or you arrive late, which is not very common. No, when you arrive late and everybody's like having a meal or whatever, you arrive and you say provecho, everyone. Like, it's super.
Okay.
Yeah. It's important to do that.
Keep that in mind.
Yeah.
The other thing is that you're not going to, they don't give you water. Like, you don't automatically get water. You have to order that. You have to order. And they also are not going to bring you your bill until you ask for it. And people get so frustrated here about that. And it's just a matter of politeness. And it's also, and another topic we're going to talk about, that there's just different priorities in the Mexican culture. And one of them is enjoying your mealtime with your friends and family.
And the after.
And not rushing through it.
No.
There's not a contest, and they're not expecting you to turn over the table really quickly. So it's considered very impolite to approach you and try to offer you the bill.
And be respectful.
Yeah. Before you ask for it.
Yeah, because you're telling like, hey, here's your bill. Get out of the restaurant. That's how
Which is what they're actually trying to do.
Yeah.
Usually sometimes turn over the table.
Yeah. Yeah. Or there's like clean around you, whatever. It's like, no, you're not going to do that. Mm-hmm. Because obviously you probably react.
Yeah.
It's because it's not common that someone start like doing that kind of things. Yeah.
So you just need to be clear with your server when you're ready to get the bill. You can just go like this if you don't know what to say, or.
And sometimes can take like
it'll take a while.
So,
yeah, they're not in a rush. But that's a nice thing. I mean, the flip side is it's a really wonderful thing about the culture is that the priority is not on shoving food in your mouth as fast as you can and getting out. It's to enjoy the experience. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else about restaurants that is important to know?
Well, here I think that one of the things that's also like important if you like spicy, it's super good that you arrive and ask for whatever you want, but always you should ask, is this thing is spicy or not? Not even the sauce, more than the food by itself. Because sometimes we prepare things that comes with pepper or are prepared with something that's really spicy, that eventually you're gonna say like, I don't like this, but for real is like kind of your fault that you didn't ask.
Because you ordered out.
Because I mean, the description sometimes is very clear, but sometimes don't. So I believe it's better to ask, is this dish or whatever is like spicy?
Yeah, but they always say no. They always say no.
Yeah, that's another thing. Don't trust Mexicans because everything is, nothing is spicy. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah. So just test it. I made the mistake. We went to a restaurant in Cancun when I first moved here, and there was a bowl of something on the table that looked like guacamole. And I was like, oh, this is going all over my taco. And it was the spiciest thing. I was crying. It was like habanero sauce or something, but it looked creamy, like a guacamole maybe. Yeah. So I've been burned, literally. Anything else? Nothing else about restaurants? I think.
Well, there's like thousands of things that I think that it's going to be better if we move.
Okay. Any questions about what we've talked about so far? Anyone? You guys are very quiet. Okay. This is a good one, which you kind of alluded to earlier. It's really hard for Mexicans to say no. So when you say, can you help me with this? Or can you give me directions to here? They, like Gabrielle said, they want to help you whether they know it or not. So they're going to give you an answer whether they know what it is that they're answering to or not. Yeah. He has a really funny story about when they kept saying 3 blocks, it's just 3 blocks down. Yeah, we run into it a lot. And if you ask, for example, if you have a workman at your house and you say, can you come or call, can you come fix my air conditioner? And they'll just say yes without giving you a time. That probably means no.
Yeah.
but they don't want to say no because it's considered very impolite to disappoint someone or say no, because the culture here is so about serving other people and help and being, I don't know, being like family to other people or really offering help to other people.
Yeah. I think at the end we try to or want to assume that we're going to do something if we have time.
Yeah, if you have time. So, but they don't write that. They don't say that.
Yeah. So we don't
You're
do
like,
anything.
so you can help me? Yes, absolutely. And then if you try to follow up, you never hear back.
Yeah.
But we had, and with big things too, like when we got married, we had a wedding and we invited several people who just kept saying yes, even though we were pretty sure they weren't coming, and we wanted to like free up the list, and they just kept saying yes and yes and never intended, like clearly had other plans. So
yes.
Like,
but I believe that there's like two different things. So one is like, we really want to help. And they just to make like a short history. No? The 3 blocks history was like, I was with a friends in Valladolid, and we asked for this salon, what the party is going to happen, and they said like, yeah, it's 3 blocks from here, and we just walk, and then like we asked another person, and she said like, yes, it's 3 blocks from here. So the next 2 times that they told us like, yes, it's 2 blocks from here, 3 blocks from here, we just decided to stop a taxi. So we jump into the taxi, and then suddenly after 3 blocks, he pulled over, and he said like, it's here. I told you it's only 3 blocks. So I was like, okay, just pay the taxi and that's it. But sometimes people do not know where is the right location, and they can give you like instructions like, I think that it's like 2 blocks ahead and then 1 to the left. So probably you will do that. So in my opinion,
just Google Map it.
Google Map it twice.
Yeah.
And be ready to receive 2 different
answers. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So you can get like really upset about it, which is what I did mistakenly. And I was like, why? That's so stupid. Just tell me no if you can't do it, so I can find someone else to do it. But then you got to just relax, because this is just how it is. It's not.
It is what it is.
They're not trying to be a dick. They're not trying to do anything except be polite to you, and so you have to receive it in that manner.
Yeah, yeah. And in an average role or attitude in a Mexican, you're going to find those kind of things.
What?
Like trying to help, trying to assist you in many ways,
Mm-hmm.
trying to say yes, no. So that's. I mean, I didn't say that it's okay.
But that's what happened.
But that's what happened. That's reality. That's what really happened at the end.
Oh, so Jim says, can you discuss tipping? Is it much different than in the States?
Yes. Sometimes you have to, in reality, you have to be thinking about 2 things. Sometimes the waiter is coming to tell you this most sadly experience of life, to force you or make you feel forced to tip them really high. I believe that here in Mexico, we don't have the best salary, but there's like a professional salary that is rise all the way to the minimum. What I mean is like, there's like a minimum salary for waiters and even managers or whatever. But when you take that salary in a professional way, working for a hotel, for example, not like La Fonda, the Charlie food shop or shack from La Tia Conchita,
Mm-hmm.
it's changed that salary and it's like higher. But many people counts with tips, are counting on tips. So the way, to me, like the best way to be thinking about tips is like between 10 and 15%. That's super common in an average. But you don't have to tip every single place. What I do,
What do you mean?
many. What I do if I go to receive like a service in a restaurant or with the gas station, I always measuring the level of the attitude in the guy. That's
But that's
me.
another point, because they were probably asking about restaurants, and the point that we should bring up is that you tip a lot of people, not just restaurant. You tip.
Basically in restaurants, like in a formal way, yeah, it's between 10, 15, and 18 sometimes, like the top or like a regular tip. Beyond of the attitude in the service, if the guy does like a great, give you like a real experience, when you can go as much as you can, or as much as you want, basically. But usually between 10, 15, or 18, I will say like that's like the structural tip.
But you do also tip, like when you go to the grocery store and they bag your groceries, you're expected to tip there. Those people, they're seniors who don't get paid.
They don't get paid,
which is awful. And so we tip usually 20 pesos. It depends if there's a lot of bags, we'll tip more. The guy that fills your gas at the gas station wants a tip. I usually do 10 pesos. I don't know if you do, 10, maybe 15. If he washes the windows or checks the oil or something, 20, we would do more, yeah. Who else needs a tip?
I think that you should basically once you receive
the police want a tip.
Well, police, be careful. Police usually look for the cars that has like a plate that says that you're renting a car. Super common.
Yep.
But when you understand the infraction, how you call it? Yeah.
It's a ticket.
No, and then they told you like, I'm going to give you a ticket. Just accept the ticket. It's super easy and fast to pay. More than if you want to give in, you can give in. Maybe you're going to pay like I don't know, 600 pesos, and the guy wants like 2,000 just to help you. But I believe that it's just better. Oh, but either way, it depends on what you want to do. If you want to go to the municipality and pay the fee because you're going to be here for a couple months, maybe that works. If you just want to say like, here's your 500 pesos, maybe. I don't have anything else. The real things works like this. Do not open your wallet in front of the cop.
Yeah.
To say like, I have like a bunch of money here. So just keep your wallet in your pocket. Go to your car, pretending that you left your wallet over there. Get into the car, not just leave your body outside of the car. Get into the car, maybe take out your wallet, have like 500 pesos, put your wallet in another place, take it out with the bill in your hand and say like, this is how much I want. Sometimes they're going to push you more to get more. And that depends on you, how you see in the situation. But usually 500 pesos is more than a very well get tip. No? Yeah. Very well, just to save the day. Like, here you are, I'm not going to do anything else. Keep driving.
I actually have a very quick story about this that happened on Cozumel. If you ever go there, we rented scooters.
Okay.
And if you've been there before, you know on the one side of the island there's a bike trail that used to be the old road. Well, the guy that rented us the scooter said, hey, when you get to the other side, there's a really nice bike trail to ride the scooters on. And I swear he probably called his cop buddies and was like, hey, I got two coming your way. And they like walked out of the woods while we were riding. And I was like, oh man, I hope this is a cop actually when we were doing it. But they did it. They took our license and said, I think they thought we were off a cruise ship. And they said, we're going to hold you. You can come pick them up on Monday because it was a weekend unless you pay us. And so, yeah, they got us for 800 pesos about 3 or 4 years ago. But anyway, you know, it's one of those things.
Yeah, you don't have to, you can show them, even the cops, you can show them your license.
Yeah.
When you accept to receive, or he's going to make a ticket, he's going to handle it. He's going to request, like, give it to me.
Yeah.
But otherwise, just, this is my deal. Yeah, I have my license here, but just help me to skip this situation or figure out.
Mm-hmm.
And they're gonna say like, how you gonna make it? Like, okay, basically, I don't know. Try to tell me how much. Basically, you're asking him like, how much money you want.
Right.
But it's better just to have like a 500 pesos in your pocket than just like, you know, I don't want to spend my time. I don't want you to spend your time. So if you want to help me, here's like 500 pesos. Basically, because we're talking about mean people, in my perception, like mean people in your case, people that already have like a plan to get money from you. But when you're driving on the highway, basically you can have like a 500. I don't say I'm going to give you more, even when they said like, hey, 500 pesos is like nothing.
Right.
So if there's like usually always in a patrols, two guys. So like 50 each one, about to I can give it like 1,000. And don't move away from that amount of money. Here you are, and I'm not going to give you any more, or otherwise give it the money, give it back the money, and get go and pay the ticket.
Yep.
Honestly, when you request your own ticket,
They don't want to give you a ticket.
they usually do not give you the ticket, because when they made a ticket, at the end of the day, they need to go deliver it to the office and justify writing why they have the ticket, why they made a ticket to you. So there's some, you will see probably also there's some kind of experience when the people's like, I found this cop, I told him I'm lost, I know where we are, and he helped us. So they're like opposite sides and good things about things, but usually when you offer like a tip or like here's your money, I just want to save my day, thank you very much, usually it's enough. And do not offer more money than that. Don't go, I mean, there's some couples that I hear like some people pay like 3,000 pesos. It's like, why? It's super crazy. Maybe your ticket's gonna be like 800 and that's it. So
this guy's little claim to fame was he was going to hold our license hostage. He said that I'm going to hold on to these, and I'm going to give you a ticket and you can pick it up tomorrow from the municipality.
They do that a lot. They threaten to keep your license. The other thing you can do as a tourist is there is a clause in the law that a tourist is entitled to like a warning, and
really?
you can try to argue that. But usually you end up paying something. Just try to pay as little as you can.
We have Mexican licenses now, and we haven't ran into it.
Yeah, but try to do
what
that.
If you had a photocopy?
Sorry?
What if you had a photocopy of your driver's license?
They don't want you to have photocopies. It's like considered, they'll take it.
They'll take it, yeah.
Yeah.
They're going to take a plate of the car.
Yeah.
I did. So what I did is like, I have not like a driving license, but when you bought a car, they give you like a license for the car, the tarjeta de circulación, the silver one. So I used to print one and put it in my papers in the box,
the glove box.
Yeah. So this guy got really, really pissed off, and he started searching if the car wasn't stolen. So take me for a while. Was useless, that's what I mean. Just say like, here's my license, and here, just give it the original license if they're going to make a ticket. Otherwise, like, I have my license. So try to go further in this situation. As soon as you were like pull over, it's like, what happened? Because sometimes really you don't know what happened. So what happened? No, you passed a light, red light, blah, 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 like whatever. And well, I don't want to make you spend my time, or I don't want you to spend mine. So try to help me. This is like a very common phrase. What are we gonna do? And the cop is gonna tell you like, I don't know. I'm gonna make a ticket. Okay, make a ticket. But it's gonna be like a take all day. Like, okay, well, I have 500 pesos in my pocket right now. That works. Don't go for it like 1,000, because it's like could be like very expensive. But I think that the short way is like, don't try to talk and have like a whole conversation more than make it fast. Like, well, I need your help. I was lost. I maybe turned in the wrong way, the wrong direction. So help me to figure out what we can do. And if they say, I don't know, let's try to figure out. Well, I have those kind of little clues to understand that he's requesting, he's asking for money, 500 pesos, here you are, it's not enough, maybe 1,000, I don't have more money with me. And I'm not gonna go anywhere else to get more money. Don't move from there, yeah.
I have one more thing on that license deal that we kind of figured out this year. It's kind of off the subject, but we While we were down there this winter, we're able to get temporary Mexican license, and we got them right there at the police station in Puerto. And they for like 350 pesos, we got 6-month driver's license. And it works really nice because like some of the golf courses give you a discount. You can use those. And like I said, it only took us an hour at the police station, and it was pretty quick, and there is some advantages to getting it.
I never heard of that.
Yeah, the funny thing is, like, for example, everybody here in Mexico, all of us has a license, but probably
no one took a
test.
No, we didn't either.
We went in with some friends because our house isn't in our name yet. And so my neighbor took me there, and the only thing you need to have is the water bill, always just the water bill.
Proof of address.
And he went in there and said, my familia, and 6 months, you walk in, you got to know your blood type. And that was it. There was nothing.
I used to take the lab, go to a lab and get the test.
My wife and I both did it on 2 separate occasions, and they said, oh yeah, you have to go to a lab, but they just signed it off. They didn't require it.
Really?
They just word for it.
Yeah,
so it was quick.
Well,
yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
What's that? So the other thing is this, I mean, we've kind of touched on it, but the idea that time is different, like here, like expectations of time and punctuality and the like urgency is a completely different thing. And it's not bad. Like, I think Americans especially are super like jacked up on productivity and urgency and streamlining, and everything's got to be done fast in the easiest way possible. And that's just not the priority here. And it's not, I mean, it's not even that you can tell them how to do it better. They don't want to do it that way. Like, it's just not, it's not the way people want to live their lives and have their employees live their lives. And so you kind of have to just accept that. And even though it seems strange and sometimes you do the same thing twice and, you know, it seems like it takes 10 times longer than it should, that's just, you got to just get used to it. It's because you're not going to change it. It's just,
right now,
even Gabrielle gets frustrated, but it's, you can't, there's huge bureaucracies and like, there's just no getting around.
Absolutely.
A lot of this.
It's not even easy for us. So I imagine for you. It's not easy.
And then the whole sense of, you know, well, my funny story is that when I started working at Mayan Riviera Properties, they have every Christmas, you have a Christmas party called a posada, which is for the employees, and they give like little presents and stuff. It's a big deal. So I was so excited. And I was like, what time does the posada start? And they're like, 7 o'clock. The party doesn't start at 7. So like I arrived with my stuff and it's at a woman's house. Well, they weren't even home with the groceries for the party. So I'm all dressed up and ready for the party, and they arrive after I've been there like 10 minutes with the groceries for the party, and they haven't showered or anything.
Honey, that's embarrassing.
Yeah.
That's true.
It's true. Like 2.5 hours later, the party got started.
Yeah.
And I just look like the idiot because I'm just hanging out the whole time.
And what are you doing here?
Yeah, you told me 7 o'clock, like over and over, you told me 7. So now I've learned, like, add an hour to an hour and a half before you arrive. But it's funny because when we have usually on Christmas Eve, we have a Christmas, like an open house, which we couldn't have this year because of COVID, but you're all invited. But I always tell Gabrielle, because we say it starts at 6:30 or whatever time, and he's futzing around thinking nobody's coming till 8 or something. And sure enough, somebody's ringing the doorbell.
Yeah.
Exactly on the time that we said, and they're the Americans and Canadians. Yeah. And they're there at 6:30 because we said it was starting at 6:30. Yeah. When we were more prepared for it to start at 8.
Yes.
But it's funny, there's just a different thing. I mean, even I find, like, with professional, like if we have a doctor's appointment, you arrive, they're not going to see you.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm always there on time anyway, but they're not going to see you for another half an hour.
We're friends is like At what time is going to be the party? You just arrive at any time.
When you want to, yeah.
Yeah, and we're going to be there.
Yes, that's
If it's
more
empty, you can
relaxed.
wait.
Yeah.
Nobody there, nobody at home, you can wait over there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just let me know. Yeah.
It's just interesting, whole different thing. And that brings me to like, we were laughing about mañana because, you know, you quickly learn when you move here that mañana doesn't mean tomorrow. It means not today.
Yeah.
And not right now.
Yes.
And sometime in the future.
Yeah.
So when you get the answer mañana, you don't like write it in your book. Well, the other one is ahorita, which I have.
Ahorita is another phrase, like, yeah, probably it's like a hope of hopefully happening during your life.
Well, I thought it meant, I was very mistaken because ahora, ahora means now.
Now, yes.
So I thought ahorita meant like little now, like right now, like immediately. I don't know why I thought that, but I believe that.
Yeah.
So I would get so upset. I remember just going round and round with Chablé, the AC guy, because I was like, are you coming? Ahorita. And I'm staying at my house because I think he's on his way over right then. And then like 5 hours, are you coming? I'm sure I didn't wait 5 hours to start texting. But anyway, I was harassing him. And the guy was never coming. He never did come. Like he just wouldn't say, no, I can't do it. I'm too busy.
Yeah.
But it was just ahorita. And so ahorita means nothing. Means jack.
Have a seat.
Means
like have a seat, wait for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there any other words like that we should be aware of?
Sometimes we're like so mean in a party that we can say like, no, I'm on my way. We're not.
This happens a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm on my way. Where are you? Oh, in my house.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not on their way.
Like, yeah, I'm gonna take a shower.
Because they don't want to say no.
Yeah, they want to say no.
Yeah. Anyway.
That's what I'm saying. I didn't say that everything is like right, you know?
No, I know.
But it is what it is.
All right, so we already did the restaurant stuff. Oh, this one was a curious thing to me. When you answer the phone here, you say bueno.
Bueno?
Not hola or hello.
No, hello.
And why do you say bueno?
Bueno, because during the 60s, 70s, we have like a lot of mistakes or lack of connection between one line and the other. So the operator asks you, like, the service is good. So the one side of the line says like, it's good, it's bueno. And then the same operator asks to the other side, like, the service is good, and the other guy says like, yeah, it's good. Okay, connected. And then the operator get out of the conversation. So the one say, bueno, it's good, it's good, it's good, it's good, connected.
Okay, so
in time we just said bueno.
Okay, so when you answer your phone and you say bueno, is the other person supposed to say bueno?
Usually, yes, say bueno.
So everybody says bueno, and then you start talking.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Bueno.
Yeah.
Even though when you have like a bad connection, you say bueno.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because every time I answer my phone and it's a Mexican number and I say hello, like, hello, this is Kim, they're like, bueno?
Yeah.
Like, I thought I was clearly speaking, but no. Yeah, oh, that's interesting.
Yes.
So bueno.
Bueno.
Everybody knows that. What else? Any other? Oh, tipping taxi drivers. Do you tip taxi?
No, it's not common. Not common at all. Unless the guy is like helping you to take all the groceries close to your house. I didn't say that it's bad. What I'm saying is like they have their own rate, and the rate, sorry guys, for you, the rate is super expensive in my mind.
Yeah, they raise the rate.
They obviously
in the car.
Can see you. Do not speak Spanish. I look like a foreign guy. So this is the moment. So could jump from 30 pesos to 100 pesos, the ride. So in my mind, I would say like, here you are, thank you very much. If these guys, you're driving, this guy's taking you with all your groceries and he just, do part of the service, like, let me help you, I'm gonna take, well, I think it's fair enough to help them, but it's I mean, I never did it. I just paid and thank you, see you later, bye. Okay. Yeah. Was very concrete.
Yes, it was.
Okay.
I was trying to think if I tip taxi drivers, but I don't think I do.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, no, it's not common at all. It's
Unless
not,
they're like carrying your groceries in or
yeah,
something.
I mean, if they're, but it's like very common. Someone is helping you. Well, here you are, but
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know how many things we didn't really do a 10 list. We're all over the place.
You guys
The
are
one
kind of, wait, Kim. Oh, it's delayed. Sorry, we're delayed a little bit. On the tipping thing, the reason Shane asked that is because we talk about it all the time. And sometimes when you tip them more, like with a tip on the fare for the taxi, they do look at you like a little strange, but then they accept it, of course. But thank you for clarifying, because that's been a bone of contention. That was a good one.
No, it's not common at all. Even, I mean, you can call them, they're going to charge you. It's not going to be for free. They pick you up your place to take you wherever you go. And for example, it's funny because there's some unbelievable like prices over take me to Cancun. So you can pay from 400 to 600, 700, 800 pesos for the ride. And to me, it's like, this is like crazy.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money. I mean, maybe to the airport or it's going to be around like 400 pesos, maybe 500 in expensive way. But there's some guys that can tell you like, no, it's going to be like 1,000. Like, no, this is crazy. This is super crazy. So I never tip them. I already been thinking about the day doing their numbers. And they're going to charge me like in a fair way. Here you are. Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I always tip more than you.
Yes, because we've
gone round and round on this. Because the other thing is, for example, we have a cleaning lady that, and I think other people struggle with this too, other expats, because it seems so low, the amount of things that people get paid.
Yes.
And so you want to pay more, but then you get criticized because they say, well, you're raising the rate for everybody and it's not fair, blah, blah, blah. But we really struggle with that.
Yeah.
So I feel like we're not paying our cleaning lady enough, and you feel like we're overpaying the cleaning lady.
Yeah. Because the thing is, like, I'm pretty demanding about having the house clean. So I'm more the guy, like, I start like, I'm going to wash my cup of coffee. Then I want to wash the drainer.
The dish drainer.
The dish drainer. And then I move the tray and I'm going to wash the counter. So when I do all that process and I found that the counter is dirty under the tray, I really get pissed off. Like, oh, come on. I'm paying you to do this like super high rate and you're not doing that. But the thing is that sometimes on the side, putting the service on the side, sometimes that happen. Sometimes, honestly, guys, I said to him, stay in the car.
Yeah. When we go to places that we're going to get a quote on something, or
you just like
he doesn't want anyone to see me. Like,
don't look at the gringa, please. Don't, because the prices change like radically. Like in 1 second, they say like, oh, she can pay it. She's going to pay it. So it's like, to me, it's like very difficult. Like, oh my God, no, don't talk to this. Or we have an agreement. And your instinct is like, I talked to her and she's like, we're going to pay you this amount. And she said, okay. That's why my expectation. So when I talk to her, like explain her, please, you need to do this like this because I don't like that, blah, 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 blah. So help me. We want to raise your salary. And she said like, and this is going to be the amount. And she said, no. Kim told me it's going to be higher than that. So it's like, oops, what? Like, and I can say like, okay, who's the
asshole? Like, we have to play the game. Yeah, that was bad.
But I didn't say it's bad.
That was a major marital argument, by the way.
The thing that I didn't say it's wrong or it's bad. What I'm saying is like
inconsistent.
Yeah, the thing is like just in my mind, I try to be like being fair enough. Of course, in my mind, they decide. I learned that, and I do those kind of things where like these guys are helping me, and for example, our garden guy. I said, like, I have this beautiful solar panel lanterns for the patio, set it, put 3 here, 2. I mean, asking different to do different things that he usually does. So I said like, here's like 100 pesos more, or like a 50 or whatever. I used to do that now, and never before. I learned, yes, be careful.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's like, no. Like the taxis, just pay them, and my mind is like, done.
Yeah, I do think that's a thing that people struggle with when they move here, is understanding what's appropriate to pay a cleaning person and a gardener and the pool guy, and because some like I know our gardener's charging other people way more than he is us, probably because you're Mexican. And probably because he knows if he told you the price, you would laugh at him.
Yeah.
What he's charging some other people, other friends of ours.
That's true.
Actually.
That's true.
So, but it's okay. I mean, everyone's making a living, whatever. We're not going broke because we're paying him 400 pesos.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that can be tricky because it can be tricky. I understand. Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't tip doctors, do you? You're looking at
what?
She looks at her like,
I know.
They're not cheap.
Yeah.
Like how much? Why? Why are you gonna tip them?
I don't know, but I've had people ask me that.
No, ever. No.
Okay.
No, never. No dentists, no doctors, no. I mean, help people that you want to help, like in service, no?
Right.
Like the guys who came to ACs. For example, I asked him to come and check the AC today, and they just arrive on time. That's amazing. That's amazing. Yeah,
I mean, time is amazing.
Honestly, it's
totally
amazing.
Yes, it is.
They arrive on time. They check everything. Everything's working. We have a nice AC right now.
Yeah.
How much is it? No, like whatever. Okay, here's like it's one guy, it's 2 guys.
Oh, you are supposed to tip the trash guys. Guys that pick up the trash.
Yes.
Remember that. They're going to honk and make a lot of noise in front of your house until you bring money out. So every once in a while, like once a month maybe. How often do we tip the trash guys?
Not often. Not often at all.
Maybe 3 or 4 times a year. For sure at Christmas time, you're expected to give them a big bonus.
We always give them we tip them with beers, for example. I bought like 2 cases of beer, like here's your money, and here's 2 cases of beer. And then perfect.
Yeah.
That's super nice. Yeah, usually it's like 10 pesos, 15 pesos every day, like daily.
We're not going out and paying them every day.
But when I saw them, I can get them like 200, 300 pesos, because I know that we are not like all the time answering they arrive and then ring the doorbell.
They try to get your attention because they would like a little tip.
Yeah, but I never had it.
I noticed that you sometimes tip the FedEx driver.
Yes. Well, that's what I'm saying. Service. Once we were in a party north to downtown, our house, and the guy called me like, "Hey, I got a service for you. Your pair of shoes. Your shoes."
My shoes.
For a wedding, and I said like, "Sorry, I'm not at home, so you can come back tomorrow or the next day or whatever. When you come back, I'm gonna be there." And he said like, "Where are you?" And I said like, "I'm this place. This is the location. I know where it is."
He brought it to us.
And he brought it.
That's so crazy.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
The FedEx guy.
Yeah.
Drove like 5 minutes to just deliver the shoes.
Out of his way. Yeah.
I'm gonna tip that
Pretty
guy.
nice. Yeah, we're gonna tip that
hug him when they
We are gonna hug him when it gets over. He's our new best friend.
Yeah.
I test the cab drivers. Like it's 30 pesos to go from La Colonia to the beachside, and I'll give them 50 pesos on my trip over. I hand it to them and I wait and I see, because I'm as white as they come. And if they don't say anything, if they don't give me the change, I ask for the change. No tip. If they just give it to me, I'll give them like 10 pesos, because it's funny to see. And then the other thing is with the taxis, we found, because inevitably you're going to leave something in a cab. So we use the WhatsApp to call the cabs to wherever you're going. And like in Puerto, they tell you the cab number that's coming. So it gives you a record of what cabs you've been in.
That's good.
Yeah.
In the cab, and it works out really well.
That's smart. Yeah, I mean, here it's not easy because I believe that in an average line, I always been thinking about like I would like to talk only the people who make like have like a common sense, you know, because under that line there's like a bad people, and above that there's like a super nice people. But in an average, she said that's a good like kind of formula to try them, like to test them, like here's the money, you already know. But when you don't have any idea and they charge you, you're only gonna pay. So if that's gonna be the price for the cost for the ride, just pay them. Don't tip them. That's my suggestion. Because they're already calculating how much they want you to pay for the service. And sometimes it's like, even to me, like sometimes we're like, it's funny, this is I want to make it short. And this is new for you.
Okay.
We went to Mexico City. We went to a restaurant, that colonial, beautiful, super old, 57 was created, this building, and there's a restaurant. So we're on the way back to the hotel, I give the money, 200 pesos to the taxi driver. And he said like, this is a fake. He turns back and he's like, oh, here's the money, it's a fake bill. So guess what? I'm the Mexican guy, the expert in Mexican situation. This blew my mind. So I read like maybe that was like 2 years ago, 3 years ago. And like a couple of months ago, I read like tricks that the taxi drivers used to do. Once they receive your bill, they change the bill and they say like, oh, this is a fake bill, but you're not paying attention.
So you give them another one.
You were got it by surprise, like, oh, really? That's embarrassing. That I gave you like a fake? No. This is the guy who's trying to get 200 pesos for free. So it's sad? Yes, it's sad. It's reality. Could happen in every single city in the
happened to us
country.
In Paris.
Yeah. But the thing is, like, it's good to learn and try to understand how we move in the things. But in my mind, what is like services for restaurants and gas stations and those kind of things, small, the quesadillas, just if you want to tip them, it's gonna be, I think you're gonna be like the client number one, like the favorite, like the fan. Oh, here's the guy who's coming to give us. That happened to me all the time. When I tip them, they know that I'm coming, and they always know that they're going to get like a better table or whatever, because people feel grateful to. People react to that kind of nice experiences also. They try to create in my mind, as a manager, I say like create experience to the guests. And I know that the guest is going to give you back the experience. That's beautiful. Sorry, go ahead.
That's okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You mentioned WhatsApp. I do think if you're moving to Mexico, you have to have WhatsApp.
Yes.
Yes or yes, as they say in Mexico. Yes or yes. That's how everyone is getting along or communicating. But one thing that you need to know, that it was a really interesting thing for me to learn here, is that communication is very like more formal, in that, you know, an email, and especially in business or anything, anyone you talk to, it's, you know, we're all Americans are used to like, hey, what happened to that report you were supposed to give me on Friday? Like you could write that in an email or a text or something. Doesn't fly here. You are always, good morning, Gabrielle. How are you today?
I hope you're doing well.
I hope you're doing well.
Yeah, I'm sorry to bother you.
I'm sorry to interrupt you.
I've been wondering what the hell is happening with this stuff. But yeah, but it's like that.
Yeah, you can't go in. That's considered super rude, and you just won't get a response. They won't react nicely to you. And so even when I'm, I have something in my mouth. Sorry. When I'm like contacting property managers to set up showings and stuff, I can't be like, hey, we're going to be there at 3:00 today. Hi, Susie, how are you? How's your family? I was wondering if it would be possible. Like you have to go through the whole thing and be super polite, which is not a bad thing. It's just not what we're used to. We're used to like a much more direct communication. And now when now when people communicate that way to me, I get offended. Now I'm all, because I've been here 9 years, and now I know the niceties of the, yeah, now I'm like, how dare you just come out and ask me that without, being polite first. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's interesting, but very different than what we're used to.
Yeah. And basically, like when you write an email, you always follow that rules because it's writing, it's on paper.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not going to be able to erase that thing.
Yeah.
So
be very careful.
For real, you can say like, what is this? I don't want to answer this. Send them to the line and again and wait for my better move to answer you. Yeah, I think it's more in the email, it's more of a writing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, usually we're like, excuse me, what are you gonna
too.
do? Blah blah blah. Yeah, in texting too. It's whatever it's text needs to be like polite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was new.
Mm-hmm.
What else do we have? Oh, I think I don't know if this is a cultural thing, but well, I guess I think it is. You have to keep all your paperwork, like for anything. Like the rule in Mexico is keep your paper because somewhere, somehow they're going to want it. Like, especially if you buy a car, you got to keep every slip of paper that came with that. Every time you pay your annual registration fee, you got to keep that because when you sell the car, you have to produce all the paper.
Yeah. Usually you deliver it to the other person, to another person. Even
though you have a passport, for some things they still want your birth certificate. Even though you had to have a birth certificate to get the passport, they still want to see my passport. Even though I have a permanent resident visa and I had to have a passport to get a permanent resident visa, they want to see all that. So, and your signature better be the same on all of it. So they're very paperwork oriented, and you just, that's how this country is.
And now it's much better.
Probably.
Yeah, and in the 70s was like a nightmare. Like, where is the invoice for the refrigerator or the stuff when you bought it in 1968? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's still as I think that many of you know, my dad passed away last year. So we applied to receive like a kind of retirement money. Well, guess what? I didn't tell you this. They request for every single ticket, like nomina, like salary received, for the last 10 years.
Of your dad?
Yeah. Fortunately, my dad always give it to her assistant to save it. So the girl who's helping us called her and she said, like, I got all of that. For 10 years, in a box, he just took the box and here you are. But you're not gonna get your money if you don't have them. Or it takes like the double of the time.
Wow.
It was super impressive. Like, yeah. And they said like, we signed some papers and they're like, do you want the box? Like, oh, no, I think it's better you hands. You can keep it. Like, no, you don't need it anymore. Oh, well, they just burn it. Like, I don't know.
You might need it now.
But you need to prove, I mean, they're still trying to change that rule. And guys, it's super unbelievable. I know it sounds crazy. I know it sounds like stupid, but that's how we do it.
It's very paper oriented. So whenever you get receipts for things that you may need to return, you need to take a photo of it or a scan right away because the ink fades very fast. And if you don't have some record, you'll never be able to take advantage of the warranty or the guarantee or the return.
Yeah.
You got to have.
By law, usually tickets or whatever, like when you have a business or you're producing whatever, you have to have as a company at least the last 5 years in documentation or paperwork.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, it's a super challenging thing to, yeah. Surprise.
So hold on to your paper.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, Julie had to run. You guys, any questions? I feel like we've maybe covered a few more than 10 topics, but who's got a question? Want to chat? Turn on your microphones. Let's talk.
Gabriel, this is Dave Allard. You guys alluded to the fact that when you invite people to a party, they always tell you, yes, we'll be there, even though they have absolutely no intention of coming. I heard that there's a kind of a cultural thing where if you do invite somebody to a party, you're almost inviting their entire family, aunts, uncles, cousins, grandparents, nieces, nephews, if you invite one person. Have you heard anything about, is that true? My brother lives in El Paso, Texas, and he said that if you invite one person, you can expect 12 to 15 people to show up, possibly. So you have to be prepared for something like that.
Yes, you have to be prepared, David. That's 100%. Yes. Once.
Well, we did it for Christmas Eve. We invited the fruit guy next to our house.
Oh yeah.
For our Christmas Eve party, and he showed up at like 1 a.m. with 10 people.
10 people.
We were like, what?
They had
the party continued.
Yeah, they had the meal, the Christmas dinner, and then when this was over, they come over to the house.
But we thought it was going to be like 2.
2, yeah, but it's completely fine. True. Yeah, we were like in this. We were invited to a wedding. And my cousin says like you can come, and she literally asked me, "Are you coming with someone else?" I'm like, "No," because I know the custom. So no, which is true, as I said, David. So I was like, no, I just Kim and I, because I need to cut the family. I need to cut some friends because the party it's like kind of super huge party. So we decided just to invite the family. And I said, perfect, okay. So finally, the family were 400 people. Like, okay, this is a Mexican family.
Yeah. When they mean family, they mean like a family of family of family.
Yes. So it's true. Yeah. It's true.
That's probably true.
Thank you for that information. I just, I always want to be prepared.
Yeah, put some snacks. People's happy. We're very happy with these snacks. So just put in there like in a counter, like any kind of whatever you have, like peanuts or chips or whatever, and we're gonna be happy with that. Yeah.
Oh, speaking of parties, Gabrielle told me that they have a thing called the Gringa.
Yeah.
Talk about this.
We know that sometimes when you make party, you came with your own whatever you want to eat or drink. So we have this phrase. When we are going to make a party, like who's going to make the party? And Gabriel is going to make the party. Okay. So the people who's invited say like, what are we going to do? Should we have to bring something to help you? And I could say, okay, the party is going to be a la gringa style. So bring whatever you're going to drink and come with whatever you're going to eat. So everybody needs to arrive with something.
So it's like potluck, but they call it gringa style.
Gringa style. Like you said, the party's a la gringa. So bring whatever you want to drink and eat, and maybe we can share it here in one table for everyone, but that's the gringa style.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Also, Mexican parties don't end very early.
No.
They go on and on and on.
And wait for the end because the mariachi always arrives at the end of the party. Yeah, it's very typical. Like in the 15th, sweet 15th, that's what we celebrate. The mariachi is gonna come for sure. And this the last. That's because it's a very strong tradition. Families left the mariachi at the end of the party, so anybody's gonna go anywhere. Everybody's going to stay.
Everyone's going to stay till the mariachi. Oh, that's a good psychological thing. Okay.
Yeah.
You want people to stay for the mariachi.
So is it common to, when you are invited to a party, to bring something to drink or to eat? Or is it only common if it's a gringa party?
It's only common if it's a gringa party. Otherwise, you're going to be welcome if you're right with a Don Julio 70 bottle of tequila. Everybody's gonna be happy, but yeah, usually only if you say like it's gringa style. Otherwise, you can just arrive and
you don't have to bring.
You don't have to bring anything. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, that implies that the people's gonna be in charge. And sometimes the other side is like people get offended when you arrive. Like, oh, I decided to bring the cake. Like, it's my birthday. I already ordered my cake. You don't have to bring another cake. No. So those kind of things are like not bad, but it's like we're having a party. We are paying for everything. Why?
Yeah.
Yeah, and also the thing is like sometimes for these kind of super huge parties, all the family is together. So I said like, Dave, we're gonna make a party. David, we're gonna do like a party. You're gonna be able to bring like 10 bottles of tequila. And you can say, yes, I'm going to be there with 10 bottles of tequila. Okay, so this is like a huge party that became bigger and bigger. From simple things like a 1 kilo of rice or beans or whatever, to super, like, I want to pay for the mariachi. Or then in the party, super common, like, I like the mariachi, someone else is going to pay for like an extra hour to make it longer. Super, super common during the parties that those kind of things happen. Yeah, super. That's nice.
It is nice.
Super nice.
What else, guys? Anyone? Do we bore you?
No, this was all good information. I really appreciate you doing that because, again, it enlightens me to some of the things that we should expect upon our extended arrival to Mexico.
Yeah, I think that Mexico, honestly, is in my mind, like the best, one of the best, definitely countries in the world. It's dangerous as any every single city, but it's super safe, and we are very, very friendly. Well, Kim is like the proof that sometimes you don't even need to learn like the perfect Spanish. For example,
burn.
but that's true. I mean, everything's moving forward and the people wants to help and you try to talk and we're not hesitate trying to help you. We don't judge you because you pronounce
Right.
wrong. We know it's difficult. English is difficult to us. So when you came and you have like a nice attitude, like I need some help to do this or that, even if you need to change a tire, a puncture tire, somebody's gonna be say like, I'm gonna help you.
Yeah.
And when you offer them money, they're gonna say like, no, I just see it because I just decided to do it. That's beautiful, I believe. But yes, we have our own issues about tipping the taxi or requesting more money than we should or being super unpunctual. I relax myself because I used to be working for restaurants. I used to be super demanding. And when I started the relationship with Kim, sometimes I said like, I switched to my Mexican chip and I said like, okay, we can be there like 10 minutes past 6, don't worry. And they're like, no, you're involved with a different culture. So we had to be there on time. Like, oh, run. So it's like I think that's beautiful when you are adapt to the culture, but when you don't, it's not like a big mistake. I believe at the end that definitely we are more like than just customs and silly jokes about how sometimes unprofessional or informal we can be. Because I believe that we are like amazing country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very kind.
Yeah.
And funny. I think that's the one cool thing about living in Mexico. I just realized Mexicans have such a nice, gentle sense of humor that it's probably better for your mental health. Everyone's kind of laughing it off and it's kind of nice. Yeah. All right. Anything else? I hope we had some helpful.
Really good information.
Oh, good. We'll probably do this again. I feel like we didn't get through everything, but I mean, it's a learning process. And part of the fun is that you get to learn while you're here, just be open to it and be curious about it and don't let it upset you so much. I think that's good advice.
That's good advice.
Relax. All right. That's it for us, you guys. Anything else?
Nope. Thanks. It was great.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us, guys.
Yeah.
I want to be